Yo guys, what's going on? Lucky G7 is back again to give you guys my live stream discussion slash review on One Piece chapter 1106. And first of all, let me address the elephant in the room. We're going to be on break after this chapter. We are going to be on break after this chapter, and I'm just sitting here thinking like, Oda, for real? Like, we couldn't have gotten the break after this arc ends. Not just at the, you know, with where we're currently at. But, I mean, I get it. You do generate more of a discussion point with a cliffhanger like this, but I also feel like, given the fact that we're getting this break now, and, you know, not just to me, that just means that we're going to be slowly wrapping up Egghead. That's at least what I'm getting from this is that, like, okay, yeah, Oda usually takes his like monthly breaks, at least once. But what this also means is that this arc's almost done, and not Egghead, Elbaf will soon be upon us, and that is going to be such a treat. Let me just say that right now. Elbaf is going to be such a huge treat, and I cannot wait to see what that is. But first of all, let's dive into what the actual chapter is. So, chapter 1106, titled On Your Side, you got this nice, amazing cover page. You got Robin looking over at the Slight Gator, and she's like pretty much giving a crocodile like an outfit. It's a reader request, the cover page, but it's cool. And you see like what's going on with the Marines. Look at them going at it, just like the paper said. And then, like kind of like with where we left off with Luffy, where he was like kind of like too full. He's like trying to breathe. He's like, huh. He just digested all that food. Feels like I'm next. Is he not human? Then what happens after this? A big explosion goes through. Whoa, watch out. Look out. We're getting surrounded by flames. We can't stay on this island any longer. I know he's an emperor, but on the count of three, we'll put all the sea prism stone cuffs on him together. And as that's happening, you see Luffy like transforming back into Gear 5. 1, 2, explosion goes through. Get on the ships. Elbaf is done for. Essentially, you get the Buster Call about to come into fruition. Turn it into a sea of fire from the shore inward. Like you see the firing being sent. You got Vegapunk, like screaming out to Kuma and Bonney, and he's trying to contact Atlas. Like, come in, Atlas. And then you got Saint Jay freaking Garcia over here. Shoot that foolish family once and for all. And you see like the Kuma clones, like just about to strike. And he says like, Atlas, tell Bonney. Dot dot dot. And he says, Bonney, I'm coming. I'll do it, Atlas. To which you cut over, you see Bonnie's reaction to what's going on. It's like, don't shoot us, Daddy. Like, help us escape this island. And then, again, you see her reaction looking over at Kuma. Did you hear a voice through the explosions? Couldn't have. And again, you get all these clones. Get the Marines like, huh? Why are they turning this way? And like, it's like the ships are like being eliminated one by one. Quite a sight, if I do say so myself. This is definitely quite a sight to behold, for sure. And then, like, Saint Jay Garcia notices, is like, what? Nani? The one worry in the back of my mind was seeing Bonnie killed by the father she loved. If you were to harm the daughter you love so much, Kuma, so basically what we're getting right now is Vegapunk's inner monologue. It would be a tragedy beyond compare. Therefore, I inserted a directive into each unit made to look like Kuma. Ugh. So that even if the highest authority in the world should command it, even if the entire world should be your enemy, understand this, Bonnie. Kuma will always be on your side. This is just a selfish wish of mine. And it means I know what comes next. And, oh, bro, like, when I saw this happening with Vegapunk getting stabbed, I kid you not, the first thing that came to my mind. Not exactly Ace per se, it's similar for sure, but, like, Vegapunk, I don't, especially after this, he's not making it out. I'm calling it right now. And I know One Piece, for the most part, has had this thing of, like, fake out deaths, but, I mean, look at Pedro. Pedro went out like a boss, okay? And you had a couple death. You had like I think like a death or you had one big death in one or two. Well, big in a sense, but it was a death, if you will. So it's not like you don't get the deaths in One Piece. Like lately, at the very least, post Whole Cake Island, you've been getting it. So yeah, I think especially with this panel with Saint Jay Garcia literally stabbing Vegapunk through. Yeah, no, he ain't making it out. He's like, I know what comes next. And then he says to himself, like, it is obvious that there will be consequences. You got Bonnie screaming Vegapunk. Then you got Saint Garcia, like, just like scowling over him for my willful actions. And then Frankie screaming, no, Vegapunk. And he says, this is now Saint Garcia saying, eliminate them now, Kizaru. Now. Got the attack going through. Got Kuma, Blaster coming in. Let's see, who exactly do we got here? Yeah, Kizaru, I'll cut you both in two. Don't worry, Bonnie. It won't hurt. She says Kizaru, and then, right when it looks like all hope seems lost, and granted, this was kind of set up earlier in the chapter, Monkey D. Luffy showing back up, cackling and laughing like, ah. Yo, I don't know if we're gonna get the. I wonder, will we get the Drums of Liberation song that we kind of got in the Wano arc? I don't know if we will, but if we do, shoot, that'd be perfect for this. But like he's cackling, he's already looks over like, wait, what? And again, Luffy's like just laughing, like having so much fun, and Bonnie's like looking over. It's like Straw Hat, where? And Luffy's like, full tummy, full power. I'm having fun now. Like you're seeing everything. Oof. You all right? And who do we got? We got Frankie, got Bonnie and Kuma, we got Atlas. Does this island seem like it's shaking? Oh, who cares about that? Stop the pacifistas. And again, Saint Jay Garcia is like just trying to question her. Like, wait, what? Doom. Da 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 doom. Da 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 da. And Bonnie notices Vegapunk. Like just on the floor. He's like, Vegapunk, come with us. They'll kill you. And then you see the robot that was like kind of laying off to the wayside by Kizaru. He's like somewhat activated. And then you got the doom, da 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 doom, da 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 doom. Like the Nika song. And she recognized, she's like, this rhythm. Oh yeah, no, no way in hell. Like, yeah, they're gonna have to, 100%. They're gonna have to play the theme at this moment because it's not only just so instrumental and so iconic, but it's also what this does for Bonnie too, and what it kind of set up for Kuma, and then of course for Bonnie. Nika, that's right. He's my idol. He appears from the blue with laughter and this rhythm. Doom da 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 doom da da da. I'm having so much fun with that. And again, Bonnie's like just left super speechless. Then you got Vegapunk looking over, and Luffy in a very similar pose, very similar to the one we saw in Wano. Yeah. And Vegapunk says, "So you didn't realize it, Bonnie? I couldn't be sure until I saw it for myself. The very stream, I said stream, the very same straw hat Luffy that Kuma had his eyes on was Nika the Sun God, aka the Chosen One, aka the Chosen One. I love that that little joke I like to make. Sun God Nika Luffy the Chosen One, but you see her like having tears in her eyes. Kuma was right. The Buster Call is futile. For centuries, people all over the world have been waiting for him. Then you get this with the northeast. I'm fumbling on my words. Northeast coast of Egghead. We're off to the northeast coast. There's an enormous ship heading our way, and this ship is like massive. Like holy shit, that's definitely them, all right. I thought they fell apart over 100 years ago, though. Should we stop? Oh, well, these are Marines talking, by the way. Nameless, like fodder tier Marine that probably nobody's gonna remember. Let's be for real. Nobody's remember these guys. No one's going to remember them. Should we stop? But why are they here? Nah, charge right through them. And one of them's like, "Well, here they come! Fire, blasted! Why are there giants here now?" And this is what I was referring to of like Oda. For real. Why the heck did you have to have the break now of all times? Like this part right here. Like the two giants, iconic from Little Garden. And this takes me all the way back. All the way back to the Alabasta saga. Why? They ask Dory. And we get Brokey. Then in the next panel we get Dory. When all that happens in the world is inevitable, Brogy. And then you get the final panel shot. Gabba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. We're here for you, Straw Hat. A new state of emergency. The giant pirates have arrived. And then you got Dory. Yeah. Like, their laughs have just been kind of like insynced into my mind for like a long while. I mean, considering the fact that like that section of One Piece I rewatched the most, so obviously, like little tips and stuff have kind of been stuck in my head. Or should it be Sun God? And I mean, look, don't get me wrong, this is like one hell of a cliffhanger to like leave off on. And y'all know what this means. It means we're gonna be almost finished off with Egghead. Do I think it's gonna wrap up in chapter 1107? No, I don't think 1107. I'm still thinking either 1108 or 1110. That's kind of what I'm thinking. 1108, 1110. 1107 I do feel like would be a little too soon. It's like, okay, they show up, they escape. I mean, you could do it. I'm not saying you can't, but at the same time, I'm kind of just like, I don't know. I, like to cover everybody, like again, Luffy, Nami, Zoro, Sanji, Usopp, Chopper, Robin, especially a very injured Robin too, by the way. Frankie, Bonnie, like there's a lot, and especially with the given situation that they're in right now, it's hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 4 chapters of it, I think is at the pace Oda's going, especially. It's plausible. We could see it, but let's see. Still, one hell of a cliffhanger. A lot on the emotional aspect again from Bonnie, and again, like it's always great to see Luffy getting back up on his feet and just doing what he's doing. So this chapter of One Piece, easily pure perfection, without a doubt. And aside from that, hey, look, I gotta. Not only do we have a viewer, which usually we always do, but Blue Star's here, which it's funny because he and I were actually kind of talking about this yesterday after we finished the My Hero Academia catch-up stream that we did on his end of things. Please go check that out. It was a lot of fun doing that. But let's see what Blue had to say. Vegapunk 50-50 chance of survival. I'm gonna say 40-60. Like I'm 40% sure he'll survive, and I'm 60% sure he won't make it out. That's what I'm predicting. Bonnie's faith restored. Oh yeah, definitely 100%. Bonnie for Straw Hat. Hmm. Bonnie for Straw Hat. What do y'all think? Yay or nay? I mean, look, I'm still of the belief that we're gonna get Vivi as like the next member when she does reunite with the crew. But honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to Bonnie joining. I really wouldn't, especially like with given her backstory and everything that we've gotten. It'd be cool, but that's really all on Oda. Whatever Oda wants to do. So we'll see. I'm really curious how Luffy reacts to being called the Sun God. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that too. How does he actually feel about that? How does he feel? I did not expect the Giants to come out to the rescue. Yeah, I didn't really expect it either. But then again, I should have also kept this in mind. What the fact that they did bring up Elbaf, like right before we like get cut over to like Garp and Aokiji, like Kuzan, if you will, that should have obviously like kind of sent out like flags of like, yo, wait a minute, could it be possible that we give, you know, like Dory and Brogy, like that should have been like an instant like indicator for me, like, oh, yo, dude, the Giants from Little Garden will show back up again. I should have obviously kept that in mind, especially since Odin did technically reintroduce them. I forget which chapter, but they did pop back up like briefly. So that should have obviously been another call too. But so it goes to show you like what other like cards like Oda's keeping. Like like when you're at like at a table, like you're holding the cards, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna pull all the best moves just yet. I gotta save it for the right opportunity. And this is kind of like one of those things that Oda did. He saved it for like the right opportunity. So take that for what you will. I figured it would be the Straw Hat Grand Fleet Direct. Yeah, I kind of thought that too. I've seen a couple other people that thought maybe it could have been Dragon, which would have been also kind of nice to see. Also, I mean, Luffy's dad, so it would have been kind of cool to see him. I know some people speculated Shanks, but and don't get me wrong, it would have been pretty fire to see Shanks. It would have, but then it would have kind of also felt like the ending of 102, where Shanks is like, y'all can not exactly interact with Luffy, but Luffy could like sense his presence, right? So it would have been like something along those lines, if you really think about it. So like Shanks is like one of those characters where I feel like you have to save him for the right opportune moment. 100%. But let's see. What else does Blue have to say? I guess it goes to show you One Piece is unpredictable. Definitely. Luffy's one of those characters from Shonen I don't mind being the hero, fate, or chosen one. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, like, I know, especially with Steve, like, this was like one of those things where it's like, really, we're doing the chosen one plot line. But so far, I will say with me, it really depends on like where Oda decides to like take it. Like that's my whole view on this. Is like it really depends on like what direction Oda wants to take it. So, and I mean, look, so far, Oda's done a pretty decent job. He's done a pretty decent job with where we're going, and it's gonna be interesting. No lie. Not surprised the Giants know about Nika. Yeah, I wasn't surprised about that either. No. Let's see. I think 120. Let me see here. 1120 is the latest on how this arc ends. 14 chapters, huh? You could be right. I think 1120 could be where this arc ends too. And you do bring up a good point that yeah, we still have to see Lucci, we still have yet to see Kizaru and Saturn get taken down. I mean, this is I mean, like we've known about is that whatever happens on Egghead is gonna be like the big game changer for the world, right? Saturn obviously being on Egghead is like already one thing. The Straw Hats fighting Saturn. Sure. I mean, I'll say this. Kizaru definitely is gonna get taken out. I don't see Saturn being like eliminated right off the bat. I really don't. I could see it to where like like say they're able to fend him off and they're able to still escape thanks to Kuma, but because I do feel like Saturn is gonna be like a long term like antagonist. Like this is gonna be like one of his this is one of his like first big like encounters with the Straw Hats, and I do see him being a recurring character, like kind of let me rephrase that reoccurring antagonist popping back up, you know. So that's kind of what I think. Let's see, Egghead, the start of the final war for the Pirate King, and the final war against the world government. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, well, it's more like it's the final saga, right? Like the final sea, if you will. Let me actually look at it. Look back at the wiki for a second. One Piece wiki, right? Let us look back at the story arcs, the story arcs, the story arcs. We are, yeah, we are. I'm blanking on this right now. We're currently in the final saga, very first arc, which is Egghead. 1058 is where this arc started. Let me think. What are we at? Where would this be currently? 48? Yeah, we're only. Holy shit! I just realized that we're only 48 chapters deep into this arc. Like it is, you know, like it feels like we've been in this arc for like 100 chapters, but it really doesn't feel like that when you really think about it. It's like okay, we started this arc on like chapter 1058, and we're only on like 1106. And again, going from Oda's like track record since Dressrosa of all places, we've had like the 100 chapter like arcs, if you will. Yeah, Dressrosa. Well, Zoe was pretty short, so I can't really say that one. Zoe was pretty short. You had Whole Cake Island, which lasted a while, and then of course Wano being a big, massive arc too. You know, so there's that. See, Saturn and Kizaru are the warm-up subordinates for Emu and Akainu. Yeah, I could see that. Oda always does have Luffy take down a subordinate before the big boss. Yeah, in this case he does, for sure. But I mean, here's the thing: we're on break. With this chapter, which sucks because it's like you know where you currently are in the story, and it's like we're taking now as the break point for real, Oda. Like really, like this, this where we're at. Like this is the break point. But I mean, no, don't get me wrong. This is gonna like be a huge, I mean, really fun like speculation point. As like, all right, so what's gonna happen next? How are the Straws gonna be able to get away? And especially with what actually goes down moving forward, it really is going to be a real in- interesting situation to say the least. But aside from that, you guys, I think that's pretty much all I have to say when it comes to this live stream discussion slash review on One Piece chapter 1106. Again, overall, this chapter, pure perfection. Like, if I were to lower this, I'd say Amazing Plus. The lowest I would give it is Amazing Plus. Highest would be pure perfection. But, and who knows? I might do like a prediction slash expectation stream for chapter 1107 for next week since we don't have a chapter. So you might get something there. But until then, you guys, that's pretty much all I gotta say. I'm Lucky G7. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more One Piece, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace and blue. It was a lot of fun having you in the chat, so hope you're having a great day. Peace.